Alright, it was just a little while back where I made a ring mandrel, and in that video I mentioned how hard it was to get a good finish on that mandrel. I was using mild steel. I tried different feeds and speeds using carbide insert bits. The only thing that actually ended up working was pretty slow high-speed steel. Somebody mentioned that should have used a die grinder as a last path, but I didn't have one. So I figured I would make one. So I figured I could, I've had this little die grinder, air die grinder laying around for a long time, never ever used it. It's an Ingersoll Rand. Figured the idea is maybe to weld on a piece of stock right onto there, and then simply just put it in the tool holder, in a dovetail tool holder. But rather than risking that shiny little Ingersoll Rand, I was able to find this very cheap $24 air die grinder, and figured I would use it instead. So at any rate, it's kind of got like a rubber coating over it. So the plan is to take it apart, and I've already split this thing, so the rubber coating will come off. Now, if I mess it up, I'm going to be messing up a $24 piece of import stuff. So give that a try. This housing's aluminum, piece of block's aluminum. I think I'll clamp some kind of steel or something on there to act as a heat sink. I don't know how much heat I want to put on the inside of this. I'm sure there's some O-rings or something in there, so I'm just going to tack it in a couple of places. Try proof of concept. So here we go. Alright, so I'm going to cut some stock for the die grinder. I'm going to adapt an air die grinder to the tool post. Just got a piece of scrap aluminum here. I'm going to cut a piece of metal. Go. Wood bandsaw for aluminum. Use what you got. Alright folks, I've had to do some stunt fixturing, getting ready to weld this onto this air die grinder. Got a big piece of aluminum, hopefully as a heat sink to draw the heat out of that tool. And on the other side I didn't have another piece of aluminum that thick, so that's just steel. But hopefully it will act as a heat sink. So again, I've got my die grinder along with a big piece of aluminum. Hopefully it'll act as a heat sink. The plan is to weld it right along there and flip it over, tack it on the other side, and hopefully not get so hot that I mess up the tool. But again, it's a very inexpensive tool. We're going to give it a try. We'll clean up that aluminum with some acetone and make sure we're good to go, and then move over to the welding table. finished product of my air die grinder. It's a $15 Campbell Hallsfield. $15.99 from Walmart. Instead of using my Ingersoll Rand there one, I figured I would experiment with this one. Although this is the not my first experiment. First one I learned a valuable lesson. It's very hard to get aluminum, no matter how clean you got it, to weld to a casting, aluminum casting. I had a hell of a time, and I just kept after it. And that was before I knew how to disassemble one of these. So the key to getting this right is to completely disassemble, pull the shaft, the bearings, everything out of it. Because even though I was using heat sinks and everything to try to keep the heat out of it and not stay in there long, I did get kind of carried away. All you need is a couple of tacks. This time I concentrated the heat on this scrap of aluminum block and then tried to get the weld to come on over and stick to the casting without putting too much heat on it. And it worked. Now the only thing I need to know is how to get a good finish with a surface grinder, because I tried it and I didn't get near the results I was looking for on a piece of 1018. Alright, just experimenting with the die grinder here. I've never used a die grinder and not doing any research yet. Still trying to figure this out. Put a black stone in there, man, I got a horrible finish. Kind of playing with speeds and feeds here, so we'll just play with it a little bit and see what we get. Running it in reverse. Gonna just for now, to get the die grinder running, I just use a clamp it on here. Finish is just not what I was expecting. Of course, it's just cold rolled 1018, but I don't know. Maybe some out there in YouTube land can tell me what I'm supposed to do. But at any rate, this was a cool little experiment. Die grinder. So, I don't know. Give me comments. Subscribe, hit the like button. Keep subscribing. subscribing. I'll keep making videos. Once again, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Now, you want to see a pitiful sight? Look at this thing. What are you doing, Red? If you sit by an empty bowl, you think something's going to appear in it? Plus, anyway, you've got plenty of food left in there. You better eat the rest of that before you ask for any more. What you think? What are you doing? What? What? You want some food? Food? Alright. Be sure you eat your food. Still got plenty of food in there. Yep. Red. Come here. You better answer me when I'm talking to you. Don't you know my critters all talk? Yes, they do. Want some food? Huh? Is it what you want? Huh? Is that it? That's what you want? What? What do you got? Come here. Cat can. What? Alright, here we go. There's Zeke out there, he's jealous.